Good morning, girls. In the previous session of Oracle, we completed numeric function and character functions. In today's session, we are going to cover all the date function and some remaining function of Oracle. Right? Let us begin with the date function. First of all, I will show you system date function. The system date function return the current system date and time on your local database, right? Whatever date and time is set in your local PC, that will be shown by the system date function. Okay, let us see how it works. For that, I will write select system date from dual. System date is a function. No need to do the pair of parentheses after this function, right? This will return the current system date, means the date set in your local PC. Here is the 2nd September is our current date. Now let us switch back to the first function, add month. This returns a date with specified number of months added. Select add month system date comma 4 from dual. Here add months will add 4 months to the current date, right? Let us see the example. Let us try to understand this function with the help of example. The current date of our system is 2nd September 20. Now September month plus 4 months means here October, November, December and January. So add months will add 4 months to the current date. Here the first date is mentioned by system date. This will return the 2nd September and 4 months will be added to the current date. Next is last day. This return the last day of the month based on the date value. Whatever date you are passing here as a parameter, the last day of that month will be returned by last day function. Okay, system date is 2nd September, so the last day of September month is 30th September. As a result, we will get 30th September 20. Next function is months between. This function returns the number of months between date 1 and date 2. In this function, we will pass two parameters in the form of date that must be enclosed in a single quotation mark. Right here in the example, you can see I have specified two different dates, and the difference between months will be returned by this function. For that, I will write select month between 12th May 2018 and the second date is 12th May 2017, and I want to print the result in a temporary table, so I have written from dual in this query. Here you can observe the difference 12th May 2018 to 12th May 2017. The difference is 12 months. Next is next day function. This function returns the first weekday that is greater than a current day. Right? Let us see the output of this query. Select next day, the system date. Okay. See the result. The next day, Monday from dual. So today's date is 2nd January and we want to find the next Monday from the current date. So on this 7th September, Monday is fall on 7th September. System date, this is already done. The next function is system timestamp. This function returns the current system date and time, including fractional seconds and the time zone also, which is stored on your local database. For that we will write select system timestamp from dual. Here you can see the result. As I told you, the current date, then time, fractional seconds, and time zone will be shown by the system timestamp function. Our next Oracle function is decode function. The decode function decodes an expression in a way similar to the if then else. You have already studied the syntax of if then else in C, C++, and PHP. Here in Oracle we can use decode function. Even if then else will be covered in PLSQL part of Oracle. The logic will remain same. Here the logic of if then else we can apply on decode function. The decode function decodes expression after comparing it to each search value. If the expression is the same as search, result is returned. And if the default value is omitted, a null value is returned where a search value does not match with any criteria. Right, here you can see the syntax of decode function. Decode column or expression, you can specify the name of column or you can even specify the expression as well, then comma, search 1 and result 1. Similarly, you can pass more than one result in decode function. Let us try to understand this function with the help of example. Select ename, job and salary. Decode job column. Here I want to decode the job column. My searching criteria is clerk. Wherever the query find a clerk, then the result is the result I want to alter in salary field. Existing salary plus 500 salary. I want to replace the current salary with existing salary plus 500 salary. That column will be titled as revised salary. Here you can observe the last column, revised salary. Right? We want to select ename, job and salary. So these three columns are displayed. I want to apply searching criteria on job column. What I want to search is clerk. I want to find the job clerk and I want to replace the current salary by salary plus 500, and that column will be titled as revised salary. So here you can observe the result. The Smith employee Smith is a clerk. His salary is 800 and the revised salary is 800 plus 500, which is equals to 1300. Similarly, Adams is also doing a job as a clerk. His current salary is 1100 and the revised salary is 1100 plus 500, which is equals to 1600. For James and Miller, the same criteria is applied. You can see the revised salary for both that employees. Next example, select ename, job and salary. Here I want to do the searching, I want to apply a searching criteria on job column. What I want to search? I want to search clerk as well as salesman. If the query found clerk, then revise the salary by existing salary plus 500, and if the query found the job as a salesman, then revise the salary by current salary plus 1000. Again, give the title to this column revise salary, right? Let me execute this query. Let us try to understand the result of this query. We want to display these three columns from employee table, e-name, job and salary. One more column I want to display on the screen, which will be titled as revise salary. Here you can see the fourth column also. But which result we want to display in this column? So here for that column we have applied a decode function, right? We want to decode the job column. Here our job column is, we want to find a clerk. Here it is, right? If the job title is clerk, then revise the existing salary with existing salary plus 500, which is equals to 1300. I can merge the second search criteria in a single decode function by separating the value by comma. Here I want to search the salesman as well. So here you can see that Ellen is working as a salesman, right? Whose salary is 1600. Current salary is 1600. But after searching that he is posted as salesman, I want to revise his current salary. 1600 plus 1000 is equals to 2600, which will be the revised salary for Alan. Now observe all other persons, whether he is working as a salesman or clerk, then that particular person's salary will be revised by the given criteria, right? Here Ward is a salesman, his salary is revised and got 2250 as a result. Martin is also working as a salesman, his salary is also revised. Then Turner is also working as a salesman, his salary is also revised. Adams is working as a clerk, his current salary is 1100, and in the result we can see the revised salary. Fine. Next example, select e-name, job and salary. Decode job. Again we want to do the searching on job column only, but here you can see the number of arguments are different. My searching criteria is I want to find all the clerks and salesmen as we have done in the previous query. But what about the other person? If the person is not appointed as clerk or as a salesman, then the revised salary is 4000 by default. So here we can pass the default value as well, right? Let me execute this query. The first employee is not a clerk or not a salesman. So his default salary is 4000. Revised salary is 4000. Now observe all the employees who are not appointed as a clerk or as a salesman. Jones is a manager. See, his current salary is 2975, but he is working as a manager. Doesn't match with any of the criteria. Not a clerk, not a salesman. So his revised salary is 4000, which is a default value, right? Now next one is Black and Clark. These both are working as a manager. Again not match with our criteria. So default value will be set for the revised salary for these two persons, right? Analyst and president. These two persons again having No matching criteria, so revised salary is set to 4,000. Next function is case statement. Case allows you to perform if then else logic in your SQL statement, similar to decode, but the syntax is different. Here you can see the syntax on the screen. Case, you can mention the expression, then when condition 1, then result 1, when condition 2, then result 2. Again, it is similar to the case statement which you have studied in subject C and C++ as well as in PHP. So in Oracle, if you want to apply a case statement, that is also possible, right? Let us try to understand case statement through the example. Here you can see the example number 97 on the screen. Select job, comma, case job, when salesman, then salary plus 1000. If the person is clerk, this is our second condition. Again we can specify with when clerk, then salary is salary plus 500. Else, in any other case, I want to set the salary 4,000. Let us execute this example. Here you can observe the result. I want to just display the job column, right? And the second column is status, as I have mentioned in the line number 5, and as status. In the code, we have mentioned this column as revised salary. Here, that column is replaced by status. Okay, now criteria is salesman and clerk, same as decode function. As we have taken the example of decode, here the same example I took for case statement also. So you can compare the result. The result of both decode and case are same. Clerk is getting whatever he is getting, his salary is incremented by 500, right? So here we got 1300. If the person is salesman, then his current salary will be incremented by 1000, right? Same criteria I have taken in case example also, so you can compare the result. And all other employees who are not working as either salesman or as a clerk, then the default salary is 4,000. Set his default salary, set his status as a 4,000. So here we got the result, right? You can observe the result and you can do the calculation on current salary. If you want to specify the current salary, you can mention the name of column over here. So you'll be able to see the current salary as well, right? Let me execute the query one more time. Here it is showing the current salary and the revised salary is also displayed. Let us take one more example. Select job, case is job, when salesman then S, when clerk then C, else no status. Set the status in case of if doesn't match with this two criteria, set the status no status, and mention the title of this column status. Let me execute this example and try to understand what does it mean. Here if the person is a clerk, then we will use the character C for that person. If the person is a salesman, then we want to use character S, right? If the person is not a clerk or not a salesman, then display no status in front of the name of that person. Got it? You can even specify whatever column you want to display by specifying the name of column header, ename, job, and case status. Let me execute the same query one more time. Here it is. Employees' names are also listed, then their job title and their status, which is defined by case and when. Now here you can observe the one more example where we have implemented the calculation instead of static value. Let us see how we can implement the how we can replace the static value with any expression. Select ename, job and salary. Case job, our first condition is when analyst, then increase the current salary by 1.10%. If the person is working as a clerk, then replace his current salary by existing salary into 1.05. If the person is salesman, then replace his current salary with 1.50%. Else salary is 1% only, and give the title to this column revise salary, right? We want to apply the case statement on EMP table. For that I will write from EMP. Here you can see the result of case statement on the screen. If the person is clerk, the first one, Smith, is working as a clerk, so the revised salary is 840. The current salary into 1.05, right, which is mentioned as a revised salary. You can observe the remaining records also. Here the result of this switch case. One more example, example number 100. Select job case when job in salesman or clerk. Here we are using in operator, which we have already studied somewhere in our previous sessions, right? If the job match with any one of the given criteria, then I want to set the employees class, right? If the person is working as a salesman or a clerk, then set the status class 3. If the person is working as an analyst, then set the status class 2. If the job is equals to president, then set the status class 1. In all other case, set the status as a manager. Let me execute this query. After observing the result, you will come to know what does it mean. Here the job title is mentioned. For the first employee, no job is displayed, right? So by default, it will take manager. The second person is a clerk whose status is class 3. Salesman again class 3 because we have applied the in operator on this two searching criterias. Then if the person is working as an analyst, find out the analyst, record with the value analyst. The status is set to class 2. Similarly, for president, we have set the status class 1. You can mention the columns, as many columns as you want as per your desire. For example, I want to display the name of employee as well. Then you can just specify the name of column over here. Let us execute the same query one more time. Okay, so name is also displayed here. then job, and then status. So these are the example of case statement. Next function is college function. College function examines the first expression. If the first expression is not null, it returns that expression. Otherwise, it does a collapse of the remaining expression. Let us see the syntax of this function. The advantage over annual function. The advantage of college function over the annual function is that college function can take multiple alternate value. In simple words, college function returns the first non-null expression in the list. Here you can see the syntax of this function: expression 1, expression 2, and expression n. Let us try to understand this function with the help of example. For that, we have to create one table first, right? Here you can see the structure of table. To create a table is very easy. We have already learned in our previous session. Create table temp, ID, name, customer name, and supplier name. These are the columns I want to define in this table. Insert some records in this table. I have inserted around 8 records in temp table, right? So first of all, before executing all these queries, you must create a table with name temp, and you have to define 4 columns for this table and insert the same records as I have inserted in this table, right? So let us create the table first. For that, switch back to Oracle window, right? I'm selecting the query from this document. You just copy and paste the same query. Here the error is shown. Name is already used by an existing object. Let us replace the name of table, or you can even drop the table by giving the drop command. Table is dropped. Now re-execute the same query and you will get a new table with this structure. Got it? Table is created. Now insert some records in this table as I have inserted over here. Copy all the records one by one. For understanding this example, I have inserted some special records in it. You can copy and paste all this record, right? I have intentionally leave some records blank for some columns to get the proper result, right? So these are the records. Select star from temp and you can see the records inserted in this table, right? Structure is in front of you. You to insert the same records. Here I have left these values blank intentionally. Okay, now let us execute the query on this table. Select ID, name, customer name, call as function, name, comma, customer name, supplier name from temp. What will be the result of this? Let us see. I want to display ID, name, customer name. In the fourth column will be displayed as supplier underscore nm. As I explained you, if the name here the first parameter is name, if the name is not available in this column, then set the supplier name whatever written in customer name, right? If the name column is set, then set the supplier name whatever the value is set in name column. Here you can observe that Ria is available in name column, so supplier name is same as name. In the second row, the name is available Sia, supplier name is again set to the same name, but in the third row nothing is set, right? In the name column nothing is set, as well as customer name is also not set, so it will return null value for the supplier name, right? Now in the fourth case, the name is not present, name is not available, but the customer name is available, here the supplier, so the supplier name will be set with the same value whatever you have set in customer name, right? Omit fifth and sixth, which is same as the third row. Now in the seventh row, the name column is also set and customer name is also set. If both the values are set, then what will happen? What will be shown in the resultant column, right? So this column is set to the value which is available in name column. In short, we can say that if the name is present, then supplier name is equals to name. If the name is not available, then supplier name equals to customer name. If in case both the values are not available, then the newly added column will get a null value. Fine. I repeat in Gujarati. કોલાસ ફંક્શનથી આપણે બે વેલ્યુ સેટ કરાવી શકીએ, બેમાંથી કોઈ એક વેલ્યુ સેટ કરાવી શકીએ. અહીંયા આપણે બે કોલમ સ્પેસિફાઈ કરી છે, નેમ અને કસ્ટમર નેમ. જો નેમ કોલમની અંદર વેલ્યુ પ્રેઝન્ટ હોય તો સપ્લાયર નેમ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ આપણે નેમ સેટ કરવું છે. જો નેમ કોલમની અંદર કંઈ જ અવેલેબલ નથી પણ કસ્ટમર નેમ અવેલેબલ છે તો સપ્લાયર નેમ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ આપણે કસ્ટમર નેમ સેટ કરશું. ઇન કેસ નેમ અને કસ્ટમર નેમ બેમાંથી એક પણ વેલ્યુ અવેલેબલ નથી, દેન સપ્લાયર નેમ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ આપણે નલ સેટ કરી શકીએ. સો ધીસ ઇઝ ઓલ અબાઉટ the collage function. Here you can see the select ename annual function we have used, right? What is this? Let us see what will be the result. Here you can see that I want to set the value 100 for all employees where commission is not set, right? If the null value is there for the commission column, wherever you find a null value, at that place replace that value with 100. So here you can see this 100 is set wherever the commission value is null, right? So this is all about the functions we use in Oracle. Okay, in the next session we will cover the transaction control commands. Transaction control commands. For today's session, this is enough. Thank you.